Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today, we will immerse ourselves in Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover, published in 2022, is an emotionally rich contemporary romance that explores redemption, forgiveness, and second chances. The story follows Kenna Rowan, a woman released from prison after 5 years, as she tries to reconnect with her daughter, Diem, and navigate the judgment and barriers created by her past. Plot summary. Kenna Rowan stepped into the town she had once called home, carrying little more than the weight of her past. The memories of the life she had lost haunted her as she sought to reclaim the one piece of it she still longed for her daughter, Diem. 5 years had passed since the accident that took Scotty, Diem's father, from her, leaving her imprisoned and separated from her newborn baby. Now, her freedom felt as fragile as her hope. Kenna's arrival was met with cold indifference and outright hostility. Grace and Patrick Landry, Scotty's parents and Diem's guardians, had worked tirelessly to give their granddaughter a stable life, one that didn't include the mother they believed to be unfit. Their grief for Scotty had hardened into resentment toward Kenna, whose role in the tragedy was unforgivable in their eyes. To them, Kenna was an unwelcome intruder, threatening the peace they had built around Diem. Ledger Ward, Scotty's best friend and a constant presence in Diem's life, became Kenna's unexpected obstacle. As a local bar owner and honorary uncle to Diem, Ledger saw himself as a protector, ensuring that Kenna wouldn't disrupt the carefully crafted world the Landrys had created. But when Kenna and Ledger's paths crossed, the walls he had built began to crack. Kenna wasn't the callous woman he had imagined. Instead, he saw someone carrying the heavy burden of regret and an unwavering determination to do right by her daughter. Kenna's attempts to connect with Diem were thwarted at every turn. She watched from a distance, yearning for the chance to explain herself. She penned letters to Scotty, pouring out her grief and the dreams she had for their daughter, hoping to find solace in the words she couldn't say aloud. Her struggle wasn't just with the Landrys or Ledger, but also with herself, as she grappled with the guilt that had followed her every step since the accident. Despite Ledger's initial resistance, he couldn't ignore the truth in Kenna's quiet persistence. Her vulnerability, her willingness to face the pain she had caused, and her undeniable love for Diem began to challenge his assumptions. The moments they shared, small, tense conversations and fleeting glimpses of understanding, became threads that tied their fates together. Ledger found himself torn between his loyalty to Scotty's family and the undeniable pull he felt toward Kenna. The memories of Scotty loomed over everyone. He wasn't just a man who had been lost too soon, he was the thread that bound their lives together. For Kenna, his absence was a wound that never healed. For the Landrys, his memory was a beacon of what they had lost. And for Ledger, Scotty was both a friend to honor and a ghost to appease. Yet, in their shared grief, there was also a shared love for Diem, a love that might bridge the chasm between them. Kenna's journey wasn't without setbacks. Every step forward seemed to come with a reminder of her past mistakes. The Landrys were relentless in their refusal to see her as anything but a danger to Diem's happiness. Kenna, in turn, wrestled with the impossibility of convincing them otherwise. But her persistence began to bear fruit, not just in her growing connection with Ledger, but in the cracks it caused in the Landrys' unwavering stance. Ledger became her reluctant ally, torn by the conflict of his emotions. His heart told him that Kenna deserved a chance to be a mother, but his sense of duty to Scotty and the Landrys told him to protect Diem at all costs. The tension between them built until it became impossible to ignore. In Kenna, Ledger saw not just a woman desperate for redemption, but someone he could no longer deny he cared for. When the weight of her past threatened to overwhelm her, Kenna found strength in her love for Diem. She knew that the only way to prove herself was through action, not words. Her efforts to rebuild her life, finding stability, showing her sincerity, and demonstrating her capacity for love, began to resonate with those around her. The walls that had seemed unbreachable started to crumble. The Landrys, too, began to see the truth that had been hidden behind their grief. Kenna wasn't the reckless girl they had written off. She was a mother who had suffered and grown, someone who wanted nothing more than to give her daughter the love she deserved. Slowly, their hearts softened, though not without difficulty. Forgiveness wasn't a sudden revelation, but a gradual realization that Kenna's love for Diem was as deep and unyielding as their own. In the end, the barriers between them fell, not with a triumphant gesture, but with quiet understanding. Kenna's reunion with Diem wasn't a single moment, but a series of small victories. First a meeting, then a touch, and finally, the embrace she had dreamed of for years. Through her perseverance and the unlikely support of those who had once been her greatest adversaries, she found a place in her daughter's life. Ledger, too, became more than just a protector. He became a partner, a friend, and a connection to the life Kenna had lost. Together, they built something new, not as replacements for what had been lost, but as a testament to the resilience of love and the power of second chances. Kenna's story wasn't just about redemption, but about the way love, in all its forms, could heal even the deepest wounds. It was about the connections that tether people to one another and the courage it takes to mend what seems irreparable. As Kenna held Diem close, she knew that her journey was far from over, but for the first time in years, she felt hope lighting the path ahead. That's all for now, but if this book spoke to you, Colleen Hoover has more waiting for you. Find them in the description or on Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in Colleen Hoover's original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.